Comparison. It's something that many of us struggle with, especially if you're a creative. We see someone else further ahead than us and then wonder why they made it, and we haven't yet. We ask ourselves why our work isn't good enough, or maybe even why we aren't good enough. We feel the temptation to quit because we equate the lack of applause of many to the applause of none. And if we aren't careful, we allow envy to seep in simply because we forgot this simple truth. That you're comparing your day one with someone else's day 1,060 billion, 50 billion year, second day, and that is stupid. And let me explain why.
I'll be fine cause you're my silver lining. I'll be fine cause you're my silver lining.
Hello. So I know you might think, girl, you've been a little too harsh with me. You're calling me stupid. I'm not calling you stupid. Okay, I'm calling the mentality stupid. This is what I've been telling myself, y'all. So today, I am not going to be giving a whole cinematic-y type video. It's going to be a chit chat. Like if I see you in the coffee shop, this is how we finna talk, right? Heart to heart, real heart to heart stuff. So as many of y'all know, I'm trying to document my storyteller journey on the internet as well as my athlete journey. And in that, I'm having to really face some harsh truths and trying to become my truest creative artistic self, and also helping y'all also do the same if you're trying to grow in your artistic capability. And one of the biggest battles of that, y'all, is battling comparison. And I've caught the comparison bug. And I usually would say I'm not really someone who struggles with comparison all that much, because of some reason I'm going to share a little bit later on in this video. But I feel like when you're putting your art and your work out there, it is so hard not to compare and seeing other people's stuff and their art and seeing numbers and things like that. Let's keep it a buck. Numbers really in our society has been equated to worth, to value, not just when it comes to social media, but also just in life. Remember back in the day when we was kids and you got a letter grade and you put your worth and your identity based off that letter grade? Same thing with artistry and social media. You just start looking at other people, you see the numbers they have, the followers they have, the views they have, and me out here stuck on my little 10 views, right? Real cute, okay? But then you also have to put things into perspective that someone else may have been putting the time and the energy for years and years, and they're seeing the payoff. Okay, but what about if we start at the same time and they have all bigger numbers than I do now? We also are not seeing the years off screen where they may have put in all that work before they went on screen. We are not seeing the full picture. When you're going online, you're seeing a snippet of somebody's life. I was reflecting on this the other day. Y'all, there's 7 days in the week, 24 hours. When you go on YouTube, you're maybe seeing someone's 10 minutes in a whole 24 hours times 7. I'm not gonna do all that math. You know what I mean? In a week, that's a lot. That's a lot that's going on. That's a lot that you ain't seeing. You ain't seeing everything that's going on every single day. You know what I mean? And then we compare that and we think, okay, this artist, they put out their work, they have all these views, but we're not seeing the years that they did that. We're not seeing the struggle. We're not seeing the frustration they're maybe going through, maybe even the insecurity that they're having to battle through. We ain't seeing none of that. Okay? So social media is only giving you one snippet. And I just feel like it's so hard to put your work out there, and then when things don't do as well, you can get so in your head. But I do not think this just applies to social media things and posting things online, but I've just found myself doing that. But one thing that I found to put things into perspective, to be helpful and not comparing myself to other people, is recognizing, y'all, we literally are all made uniquely. Imagine if we all had the same path and journey. That would be so boring. That would actually be very lame. Okay, imagine we all just had the same path, the same journey, and sometimes it's just not the timing, it's just not the time, and that is okay. Easier said than done. Okay, I'm telling y'all this now, but tomorrow I might crash out. Let's just be honest, okay? Let's keep it real. I want us to be honest. Something that I was even just thinking about was I was watching this video by Issa Rae, the interview, which y'all saw at the beginning of this video. Such a great interview. Y'all should really watch it. One thing she said is that when she watches a video, she either wants to feel something different, she wants to feel deeply, or she wants to laugh. You'll be like, girl, what are you talking about? Sorry, it might be the ADHD right now going in a circle, but I get the point. There's a reason why I'm telling y'all this. The reason why I'm telling y'all this is that one of the biggest ways to combat comparison is understanding your own purpose in your own lane. And when I heard that quote from Issa Rae, I was like, oh, I actually resonate with that. I realized that for me, when I make videos and stuff, that is what the purpose is that I want to either make you leave thinking more thoughtful, more creative, like more wanting to go and run a half marathon, like more wanting to leave like healthier, more creative, artful, That is truly what I want to do to the internet. Wait, that makes no sense. But that's kind of the message that I want to put out there in the internet. And also, I want to make you laugh sometimes too. And I had to come back to my purpose and my reasoning behind making videos, trying to put out art and put out stuff like that, because it's so easy to just crumble once you forget your purpose and your why. And when you remember that one why, you realize that impacting that one person. Oh, go ahead, stop. Okay, this is real life, y'all. Okay, sorry, that remote just went down. But you realize one person being impacted by your worth is actually more than enough. You don't need an audience. You just need one person, because one person's life is enough. So if you are somebody who is comparing your art to someone else's and you're like, dang, a bunch of people aren't looking at this, it ain't good, Oh, there's another thing too. Just because it doesn't have a lot of views does not mean it's bad. Sometimes, let's be honest, sometimes the ish be bad. I be posting stuff, y'all, and I kid you not, the day I posted, I'm like, that ish ease, and I kid you not, a week later, I'm like, bro, this thing is trash. Why do you even think this was a good idea? It needs to be demolished. Take it down. Come on, raise your hand if you agree, please. If you are like this, please put it in the comments, because I cannot be the only one. But I say that to say, numbers really don't equate to the value and the quality of your work. Once again, I was watching an interview by Life of Risa. She was posting for years, and her views were not even getting past 1,000 views, right? And then one of her videos really, really popped up, and literally now all those videos have just blown up, and it made her think, wait, were those videos good all along? And if y'all know Life of Risa stuff, which y'all really need to check out, you would be like, how was this girl even thinking that her work was bad? That's crazy. She thought her work was bad. That's insane, because you see her work is so beautiful and has so much power and just depth to it. So I just say that to say that numbers do not equate to the value of the work, the quality of the work, or even the quality of you as a person. That's the kind of the key thing. But when you start comparing yourself to other people, like, oh, this person has this numbers of this thing, that means that their work automatically must be better. Sometimes it's not about being better or worse or any of that. It's just about timing and purpose. And also, it's also a blessing, to be hidden, to have few numbers, to have a few people looking. And numbers are numbers. It doesn't equate to the value of you or your work. So that's one thing I've had to really digest during this season, this time. But this, once again, I feel like I said this 3 times, but this doesn't just apply to posting online. This applies to life. When you see other people further along than you, babes, like, we're not supposed to have the same journey. In fact, if we did, life would be boring. The world would be boring. And then the third thing too that I do to try to combat comparison, and why I think comparison is stupid, is that I realize that when you cheer other people on, you will also feel better about yourself. I truly love cheering people on. Oh my gosh, there's a video coming out next week that's a summary of the whole Woman's Story Tellers You Must Follow series, and I just think that I find great joy in that, in seeing someone else's light, because when you see someone else's light and you see them shining, it actually makes you feel a lot less insecure about your work. You view it as more of an inspiration. You view it as a way to uplift yourself, and instead of viewing it from the eyes of envy, you're viewing it from the eyes of, what can I learn from this person? Oh, what can I now take in a good way and apply it to what I'm creating? It's all about perspective, and comparison is stupid because it clouds your mind and makes you fall into the trap of envy instead of inspiration. Well, that's a quote, but yeah, comparison makes you fall into the trap of envy more than the trap of inspiration. And you want to be inspired as an artist. You don't want to be out here envious of other people. But I'm also not gonna sit here and be like, oh, that don't ever be happening to me. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, now y'all should do all these things, you shouldn't be envious. Let's be for real. Let's be for real. Come on, we're humans. Like, we have these things, and these things we're going to battle with and struggle with. I just feel like we need to talk about comparison as creatives, especially. I feel like we can get into that trap even more so because we're so led by our emotions. We're creating our art, and our art, bro, it be personal. So when people be rejecting your ish but be praising someone else's ish, it feels like a rejection of you, you know. So I just want to say I feel you, cuz I feel you, okay? But I just really hope that you leave this video and you realize that your work is so valuable. Like, you are genuinely so freaking valuable, and by comparing ourselves to other people, we're cheating ourselves out of our own beauty and light shining, and our own art shining, and our own creativity shining. We need your creativity, bro. We need your voice so freaking bad. And I just really hope when you get off this video, you put down that dang on phone. you get off my freaking video. Get off my freaking video. Get off my freaking page and subscribe. Subscribe and like. But get off my page and realize that you are so much brighter and beautiful than you even realize. And by you constantly thinking that you're lesser than or even better than other people, you are cheating yourself out of growing into something more beautiful and letting your art shine more beautifully. So my challenge to y'all today is stop comparing. It's stupid. Instead, look at what you have in your hand, be faithful with that, and be committed with that, which is why I'm making this video, to tell y'all that I'm sticking on YouTube for at least a year, trying to post every single week, because I'm trying to walk out what I just said in this video. And instead of comparing, I'm trying to walk and create and do. So I'm committing to this journey of showing more of this creative journey and this process to help y'all also do the same. Okay, y'all, I'll see y'all. Bye.